Part 2. Change. High School. Chapter 11. Allah. It had been many years since the move from the little white house with red shutters in Pineville to West Monroe. Nick's job at the bank was sound. Daisy had a career as a court reporter once the kids were old enough to ride the school bus. Initially she hired a babysitter, but eventually the boys grew up enough to take over. Luke was into all the sports, so there was always a game to attend. Bonnie was a tomboy and was more interested in hanging out. Sissy liked the popular crowds who had cheerleading as a goal. Adam, however, was a nerd and had found some nerdy friends. They were the outcasts and did things their own way. The McClures were a well-rounded family, but there was always something different, and people noticed. Several mentioned it to Nick and Daisy throughout the kids' school years. If something was happening, the McClures were in the middle of it. Adam's junior high school friend Billy wanted to be a lawyer. He convinced Adam to take typing classes. Adam didn't know it at the time, but those were going to be some of the most valuable courses he had ever taken. Adam also had a female friend named Tara. She was laid back and joined in whatever was happening. Adam felt comfortable enough to tell her about the strange things that happened in his life. She didn't understand, but accepted it. No judgments. Adam really liked her. They went out a few times as friends, but Adam hoped they could be more. Life was typical for the McClures. The entities had not followed them to their new home, but more odd things started happening to Adam as he grew. Random thoughts coming into his mind from other people expanded when he looked into someone's eyes. He felt himself being pulled into their memories as if going through a tunnel. He couldn't stop it, so he learned to not look at people in the eyes for too long. He had crazy dreams, so he began writing them down. It was the first thing he did upon waking up, as he had learned to recognize when he was dreaming and take control. Much later, he would realize this was called lucid dreaming. Then he noticed the coincidences. Things he would need seemed to appear. He recalled a memory from before he was born, an easy life where things came to him. Then there were the songs on the radio. He would know that a song he liked was playing on a different station, or no, it was about to play, yet the radio was turned off. Friends and family noticed, but figured he must have heard it from a car nearby. Adam rejected the idea that he was different than others. He wanted to be like everyone else. He wanted to be normal, but so many things were happening. It made him nervous. A seed of doubt had begun growing. He was starting to feel alone, and moving to another town made him feel even more alone. Nick had found a much better paying job 1 hour south of West Monroe. It also moved them 1 hour away from Pineville, where they lived when his children were only tots. He had been commuting there for a year before moving the family into the new home in Allah. They would be renting out their house in West Monroe. Nick figured he could make a bit of money, and if this job fell through, they would have a home to go back into in West Monroe. Adam was starting the 10th grade in a new town so small it did not have a traffic light. It was one of those towns you speed through on the highway. You only stopped if you needed gas. But people live in those towns, and Adam would be one of those people. Adam looked at the surroundings as Nick pulled the car into the driveway of the new home. I'm going to be living in Allah. Funny noun, pronounced Allah? Sucks having to move. At least the classes will be small. The entire town shuts down on Wednesdays just because. Is there not enough business? There's nothing to do here. No friends. No park. No movie theater. No place to go. The biggest attraction is the burger barn on the highway. Adam thought as they pulled into the driveway of the new home. I'm going through puberty. Maybe this is where I'll get old enough for my parents to teach me about these strange things that happen. I can't wait for them to stop concealing this kind of thing and finally let me in on the big secret. How to control all this. He had brought this up several times before and had been brushed off as if they said we would talk about it later. So he kept waiting for that day. It can't be much longer. It's an older pier and beam house. The girls will share a room in the center of the house. The mudroom in back became the boys' bedroom. That's why the back door to the house was in that room. The boys figured the back door in their room would come in handy. Also, you had to pass through the second full bath with the washer-dryer before entering their room. They liked that as well. Next to their house is an open lot with a church across the street. They would be attending church in order to be social. A truck pulled in as the McClures began unpacking. A man and a boy about Adam's age stepped out and walked up to Nick. "Hi, I'm Josh Belter. I'm the coach of the high school, and this is Carl Spikeman. He's on the football team," he said, walking up to Nick, shaking his hand. "Well, I'm Nick McClure. This is my wife, Daisy, and these are our kids, Adam, Luke, Bonnie, and Sissy." "Well, we came by because we heard you were moving in. We were hoping you could join the football team," Carl said, looking at Adam. "I probably won't. I'm not really into sports. Sorry." "Oh, maybe later. You're just moving in. Think about it." "Okay." "Well, that's really all. Just wanted to drop by and say welcome, and we'll see your kids in school," he said, walking Carl back to the truck. "That was nice of them, don't you think?" Daisy said to Adam. "Yeah." "God, they're going to keep on about this, and it's not going to end well." Chapter 12. Trauma. School ended for the day, and Coach Belter caught up with Adam. "Adam, are you joining us for football practice? I went by the bank, and your dad said it was okay, that you might want to join," Coach Belter said. "I'm on my way." "Dad said I might want to join? That sounds about right. Pushing what he wants off on me? They want me to be more like Luke and join a sports team. I don't understand sports. Why do people like them so much?" "Get to the locker room, get changed, and join us on the field." "At least it's just a workout session and not actual football. I have no idea what I'm doing," Adam thought, dressing in his regular gym clothes, then joining the others on the field. "The first thing we're going to do is a 1-mile run. Adam, follow the others. They know the route around the school. Kevin and Jim are our best runners. They're on the track team. See if you can keep up with them. Now, go!" "I'm tiring, but we're almost at the end. This feeling of being separate from your body and just letting the body do the work, is this why people like sports? This odd feeling?" "All right, well done," Coach Belter said. "Adam, you came in third. You kept up with my 2 track stars. We really could use you on the track team." "The others still hadn't made it to the finish line yet? Huh, I can run." Practice drills lasted an hour and a half. "I still don't understand this. Throwing, catching, hitting dummies. What am I supposed to learn from this?" "That's enough for today. Get to the locker room, shower. I'll see you there for our next practice day after tomorrow. Adam, we could use you on both the football and track teams. How about it?" Coach Belter said, walking back to the school. "It's not for me, so I've just got to say no." "What? Why? You love it. You got along with everyone and did good running. You'd be great even just on the track team." "I'm sorry, but no." "Don't say no yet. Think about it. You might change your mind." "I'm not going to change my mind, but he's going to keep pushing. This is going to be a long school year," Adam thought as he made his way to the school's locker room. Undressed, Adam turned to the other boys in the communal shower. "Carl, Adam's staring at your butt!" someone yelled to be heard over the running water. It did not register Adam that he had stopped at the shower entrance. His head snapped up to see Carl turn and look at him. The overlapping voices made it difficult to make out and everything being said. Adam was hearing both in his ears and with his mind. "Adam's got a hard-on. Hey, he's gay. He wants to fuck Carl. He wants all of us to fuck him. Get his dick off." "Gays shouldn't exist. You're wrong." Adam tried to hide his embarrassment, quickly turned, and returned to his locker. He grabbed his clothes and dressed. Safely outside, he began to walk home, giving plenty of time to think. "Am I gay? I liked looking at Carl's body. I liked it. But I like girls. My dream last night was 3 girls at once. I like both. I'm so confused. They all saw it. I'm going to have to be careful. There are probably people in this town that would like to kill me. Then they'd hide my body. There might be people here that have done that before. God, I need to survive long enough to get out of here. It's going to be a long school year." Adam made it home and ate dinner with the family. He dreaded going to school the next day, expecting the worst. But instead, the school day was like any other. Then Carl caught up with him. "Adam, we were hoping to see you," Carl said. It was between classes, and there was 3 other seniors from the football team. "We were just picking on you in the locker room yesterday." Leaning closer, he whispered at him, "Look, we want you to be on the team. One of us. The 4 of us are going to meet after school. We have some magazines. We've seen you hard. It's happened to all of us, so you don't have to be embarrassed. Come on, it'll be fun. They have seen me hard. The seniors are more experienced than me, and it probably happens all the time. I guess it's normal. Like they say, having older friends at this school would be nice. He's thinking about it. Good. Once we get him alone, we can beat the shit out of him. What? That voice in my head. I'm hearing what he's thinking. It's a trap. They're gonna beat me up. No thanks. I told Mom that I would help with her something after school. You sure? Come on, we can be friends. No. Sorry, I've got to get to class. Heading back to class, Adam was stopped by two others who pulled him to the side. He had seen them before in the corner of the school smoking grounds. They were the rebels of the school, shunning the popular crowd, saying what they thought about everything. I'm Becky. This is Jimbo. We were watching. You got out of that. They were going to get you alone and beat you up. You know that? They've done that to others before. You know that you've made some enemies, right? Turning down the coach to be on the football team? Word is, he is pissed off at you. He probably sent them. The coach is pissed? He's my teacher in PE class. We'll let you know if we learn anything. The elites are just snobs and don't live in the real world. Come on, Jimbo, we got to get to class. I'm coming. We're in the same history class. I've seen you sitting in back. We saw you sitting in the front and figured you were the ones to raise your hand like know-it-alls. But maybe we're wrong, Becky said, smirking. Adam could not concentrate in class. He was daydreaming like he often does. Why would seniors reveal their thoughts like that? They're older than me. Shouldn't they have learned to control their thoughts by now? At least conceal them, like all the other adults conceal them. Maybe I'm wrong. It's been sporadic, uncontrolled. I thought they would teach me as I got older, but it's not happening. And now these seniors are about to be adults leave their thoughts open like that? What if they're normal and I'm not? Have I been wrong all this time? That thought I heard in the shower. You're wrong? Was that from one of the boys or from something else? It sounded different. These thoughts consumed Adam for the remainder of the week. That would explain why no one talks about this sort of thing. He's the different one. Adam was walking home from school. The school bus would be faster, but he could avoid people this way. Avoid hearing the school elites taunt everyone else. It was worth it. Plus, he liked to walk. After that day at football practice, he realized it when he kept up with the two guys on the track team. It was one of the only times he could be alone. Days he did not have a job and was always home. He shared a room with his brother. Walking gave Adam time to himself. I've been here for weeks. There's so much bullying at the school. I've got to take a different hallways just to avoid the football players picking on me. There's that girl that uses braces to walk getting bullied. Then the other girl, Dean, she's mentally challenged, and she cries almost every day from bullying. How can people do that? Are they blind to how they're making people feel, affecting their lives? Adam was struggling, pulling himself up. He made it onto the road. He hurt everywhere. His shirt was torn. His clothes were wet. He knew this road, this location. It was one of the roads branching off from the back road to the nearby community of Urania. He was standing near a bridge. He climbed up from the creek below. There was never much traffic on this road. Adam wiped his face on his sleeve. Blood. He wiped his face off, then tried brushing the mud and debris off the rest of his body. He zipped up his pants, buttoned them, and began straightening his shirt. He started walking across the bridge back to Allah. God, it hurts to walk. This isn't going to be fun. It's going to be dark by the time I get back. Why am I out here? I like to walk. I must have wanted a long walk today and had someone drop me off way out here. I can't remember. God, there's blood on my face. I must have hit my head. Adam looked over the low guardrail into the creek below. I must have stepped over the railing and been pissing off the side of the bridge. Maybe I slipped and fell into the stream below. I can't remember. Maybe I can hitch a ride back to town. A wave of fear washed over Adam. God, what was that? I'm afraid to flag a car down. Why? I can't remember. Okay, I'll have to walk back. Oh, I don't know if I can walk all the way. All right, if someone happens to stop, I'll have to ask if they can give me a ride. It's just, if they stop. Adam had been walking for 30 minutes. He brushed debris off as his clothes continued to dry. Then a truck stopped on the road beside him. Adam turned. I'm Scott. I'm heading into town to get gas. Do you need a ride? Yeah, that'd be great. Adam got into the truck, acting as if nothing was wrong. He was good at pretending. He had been doing it all his life. Adam would make it back before dark. You look a mess. What are you doing out here? I like to walk. It's a nice day, so I thought I'd take a really long walk for once and had someone drop me off out here. I was pissing off the bridge, slipped, and fell into the creek. I started walking back and you stopped. You're lucky you weren't seriously hurt. Yeah, I've got some cleaning up to do. I'm only going to the gas station on the edge of town and need to get back. Do you need a ride all the way, or are you good at the station? The station's fine. I don't live far from there. Thanks. They arrived at the gas station, and Adam got out. Thanks for the ride. I appreciate it. Stopping here is perfect. I can clean up in the restroom before getting home. Thanks. You're welcome. Good luck. Adam cleaned himself up in the station's restroom, then headed home. It didn't take him long. He could come in through the back door directly into his bedroom, and then into the bathroom. He removed his clothes, tossing everything but his shirt into the washing machine. He'd have to throw that away when no one was watching. He stepped into the shower, cleaning himself up properly. He got dressed just in time for dinner. Everything's okay. Made it back safely. Nobody noticed. I'm not doing that again. No more long walks. Adam, you have some cuts and scrapes on your face. What happened? Daisy asked. Well, you know how I like to walk. Well, I was walking, tripped, and fell into one of those deep ditches. I made sure to hit everything possible on the way down. It looks worse than it feels. The only thing that hurts a little is my lower back. That explains why you're walking slower than normal. I'm sure it'll be back to normal in the morning. His lower back continued to hurt. It was getting worse every day. Finally, on the third day, he couldn't take it anymore. He could barely walk. Dad, something's wrong. My lower back's hurting really bad. It started a few days ago and it's just been getting worse. I've been trying to deal with it, but I can't anymore. It's hard for me to walk. I can't go to school like this. I can't move. The nearest doctor I know is back in West Monroe. The only thing here is the hospital. Is it bad enough to go to the hospital? No, not a hospital. A doctor's okay. I'll call the doctor we used to have there and get an appointment. He's a good friend of mine and should be able to squeeze us in tomorrow, Nick said. Okay. Nick walked into Adam's room the following day. I got you a doctor's appointment in West Monroe, but we need to leave right now. Get dressed and meet me in the kitchen. Okay. Adam rolled out of the bed and hit the floor groaning. He couldn't get up. Nick rushed over to help him back into bed. I can't walk. It hurts too much. Can you help me get dressed and out to the car? Of course. They made it to the car and drove to West Monroe. Adam felt like it took half a day. Finally, they arrived at the doctor's office and were escorted into one of the examinations room. The doctor entered and greeted Nick. They were longtime friends, and Nick told him what was happening with Adam. The doctor said, Adam, I'm going to move my hand around your lower back. Tell me to stop when I reach the area of pain. Stop! Okay, I need to do a more thorough examination. Nick, would you wait outside? Why? It's best if we have some doctor-patient privacy for this part of the examination. Okay, I'll be outside. Adam, I need to check your prostate, so I need you to drop your pants, underwear, and all. Ow! That hurts. It hurts. Is there anything coming out? Yeah, it's clear. You have a prostate infection. Go ahead and get dressed. Has anything happened to you recently? Any kind of trauma? You can tell me. Everything's private between doctor and patient. Adam thought about telling the doctor about us falling into the creek, but decided against it. No, nothing. I don't know why this is happening. Okay, I'm going to call Nick back in. What's wrong? Nick asked. He has a prostate infection. You don't normally see this in teenagers. I've mostly seen it in older truck drivers that sit a lot. I don't know the cause, but I can give him some antibiotics. That should help. I'm also going to give him some morphine for the pain. It will get him through the day, then hopefully the swelling will start to go down. Adam liked the morphine. He still felt the pain but didn't care. The doctor was right. The pain decreased and his swollen prostate returned to normal. He didn't mind missing a couple of days of school. Becky and Jimbo were the first to ask about his absence. He didn't tell them the truth. He was embarrassed, so he made something up about a general illness. Becky said, "We heard another rumor about you. We're hearing that people have been told to keep their hands off of you. No one's to touch you, not to harm you in any way. What happened to make them say that?" "I don't know." "They are not to touch you, but I bet the bullying will continue," Jimbo said. Becky nodded her head in agreement. "That's okay. At least there's one less thing to worry about." "We're still not friends, just letting you know," Becky said, heading off with Jimbo following. Another school day ended like all the others, except Adam had been riding the school bus home. Life never changed for his siblings. Luke was playing basketball, while Bonnie had boys asking her out. Then, of course, Sissy focused on cheerleading. However, something had changed within Adam. He had a secret he couldn't tell anyone. A seed of doubt planted earlier had been growing. He was beginning to realize he was different than everyone else. He felt more alone than ever. "I'm home," Adam yelled, entering the house, mimicking his dad's words, getting home from work. "I'm washing clothes," Daisy said from the second bathroom across from his room. Adam set his books on a desk and sat on the bed for a moment. "Mom, can you hear me?" Adam thought. He tried feeling her in the room next door, washing clothes. Focusing on her mind, trying to put himself there. "Can you hear me?" Nothing. "Please answer me. Please hear me. Hear me!" Adam yelled at her mind. Nothing. Adam lay down, crying into his pillow. "They are normal. I'm not. I thought they would help me when I got older. Why am I so different from everyone? I have these gay feelings, and people here hate people like me. Even Mom and Dad don't like gay people. I heard their thoughts. They have seen that part of me. Dad has done what he could to change me, but it didn't work. Mom wants me to get married so she can have grandchildren. I thought they were letting me hear their thoughts for a purpose. To teach me something I didn't understand. But it's their private thoughts, what they honestly think. Their secrets. My parents don't like people like me." Crying, Adam felt as if life had split. One path everyone around him could see, the path in front of him, only the physical. Then there's this other path, something they could not see, something would have to keep hidden within the shadows of himself. He recalled a memory from before he was born. What am I going to do? The next day, Adam was sitting in class feeling alone in a room full of people when an announcement came across the loudspeaker. "Attention, students! Our principal, Mr. Carrington, has taken on a new job at the school board. We wish Mr. Carrington the best during his move. Coach Belter has agreed to become our new principal. He has a lot of good ideas to make this school even better. Thanks, Coach Belter. We know you're going to do a great job." Becky and Jimbo cut up with Adam after class. Jimbo said, "You're screwed. He hates you and is going to be coming after you." "People are hating me? What's new?" Adam said, shaking his head as he walked to the school library. He loved libraries and loved to read. Adam could escape the bullies in the sanctuary. He passed Dean in the hall, smiled, and said hello. She giggled. "She's getting a crush on me. All I'm doing is treating her like an average person, not as someone with a handicap. Normal. I never bully her." The library's locked. The note on the door read, "New policy. The library is closed during recess and lunch. Open 30 minutes before and after school and for scheduled classes." It started. New policies were enacted targeting him. Adam eventually began walking back to school. It was better than riding the bus, even if it did take longer. He cut across the grass just like everyone else that walked to school. "Announcement, students. There's a new no walking on the grass policy. We have planted grass seed and are trying to get it to grow. Students walking on the grass will receive detention. Signs are on the grass as a reminder. Thank you. The next day, Daisy dropped Adam off at school. In the process of leaving, the car tires spun on the rocks. Announcement, students. There's a new policy regarding parents dropping off their kids. The parents are not to spin the tires in the gravel. It could injure students. A student will receive detention if their parent spins in the gravel. Thank you. Adam had been feeling alone. Now he was alone with a target on his back. Then after the gravel incident, other students came up to him saying the principal must have it out for you. How much longer do I have to be here? I hope I survive. Adam was having a hard time dealing with his homosexual side and randomly hearing thoughts in people's heads. He had no control over either. Everyone he met in the small town hated gay people. Even Becky and Jimbo were vocal about it. Adam's brother and sisters joined in with others. It was just joking around to them, but Adam took everything personally. He told his parents he wanted to be an artist, but they rejected that idea. There was no money in it. He needed a job that made lots of money. He had a close friend for a few weeks, but then the parents found out and said the boy was on the wrong side of the tracks. Adam's parents did not like the boy's parents and forced Adam to get the boy out of his life. He was not like everyone else. Adam felt like he was a pawn to be used. He had no free will. There was something else. Something had happened that he couldn't remember. He was there to be used by others. There was no way out. There was no hope. Crying and thoughts of suicide were almost daily now. There was only darkness. Adam was not aware of the shadows moving around him. He did not see their influence. Something found him. Something from his childhood. Something from a white house with red shutters. Chapter 13. Soul Infusion. Adam was lying in bed after school, thinking about his life in this small town. It was like walls in his mind had been constructed, trapping him inside with only negative thoughts. He couldn't see anything positive about his life. He would be in this tiny town forever, being a thing for others to use. People could abuse him. No one would care. They won't even notice. They won't even notice. People never do. They can't hear you. They can't even hear me. I've tried talking to my parents. I've tried talking to others. They all ignore me or ridicule me. I'm alone. You're wrong. I'm wrong. I was born like this. So different. I'm not like everybody else. I don't belong here. Why am I so wrong? Adam couldn't take it. Finally, there was one person left he could try and talk to about all of this. The preacher of the church across the lot from their house. Adam didn't really like him, but there was no one left. He knocked on the church door. The preacher appeared. Why, hello, Adam. What brings you here? It was a small church, and he knew all of its congregations. His family were the newcomers in town and lived across from the church. The McClures had recently joined, so he knew Adam. Can I talk to you in private? I don't know what else to do. Come on in. I have an office on the side. We can talk there. Just say it. I'm attracted to guys. At least a part of me is gay. I was looking at a boy in the shower at school and they all saw me get hard. Everyone knows it, and I get bullied. Everybody hates people like me. They say it out loud, and I can hear them think it. Well, the Bible says homosexuals are an abomination, but it also says we're supposed to love them. It's how we learn and grow. Some places can teach you how not to be homosexual. I can give you some materials to look over. I'm an abomination? So people learn and grow at my expense? Adam did not notice that the light in the room was only around them now. The walls were covered in shadow. What did you mean, Adam, when you said that you can hear them think it? I can sometimes hear what people are thinking, especially when I look in their eyes, Adam said, looking at the preacher. Like now, you're thinking about making this part of Sunday's sermon. That is what I was thinking. Adam can see what I've done. A shadow moved unnoticed, touching the preacher. He's setting me up. Is this being recorded? You think this is funny? Who told you to do this? Trying to entrap good people? You're the thing wrong with the world. Get out! What did I say? What did I do wrong? Get out! Adam headed back home feeling worse than before. You're the thing wrong with the world. He could not get that line out of his head. It glowed in his mind like a neon sign. You're the thing wrong with the world? You're wrong? Nick and Daisy were in the living room when Adam returned. They knew he had gone to see the preacher about something. He walked in shaking, not looking up, tears long gone in waves of acceptance. You're the thing wrong with the world. You're wrong. Nick and Daisy both knew something was wrong. What's wrong? Did he sexually abuse you? No, it was something else. What was it? Just something else. It's not important. I'm not important. Adam went to his room. It's darker than usual. Everyone hates me. Everyone, including my parents. I'm wrong. I'm gonna leave. Maybe there's something away from here, somewhere I might not be hated so much. Adam packed a small suitcase. He was hoping there was somewhere he could go, somewhere he could live. Just live. His parents stopped him as he headed to the front door with a suitcase. Where are you going to go? Nick asked. Where are you going to go? Where can I go? Everyone inside this house hates me. Everyone at school hates me. This town hates me. Religion hates me. God hates me. Everyone outside this town's the same or worse. I'll be shot on sight. I'm the thing wrong with the world. I'm wrong. There's nowhere I can go. Adam turned around without saying a word and went back to his bedroom. He lay on his bed, looking up. He remembered floating through the bed springs at his childhood home. I think I can do that again if I really let go. I'm going to let go of everything. Leave my body. Never come back. I won't be a mistake here anymore. A shadow moved in the corner of the room, waiting. There was no longer any reason to be here. Everyone would be better off with Adam gone. His consciousness focused on itself. There was the feeling of going over small hills like on a roller coaster. He's floating, looking down. He sees the shadow moving toward his body on the bed. The shadow stopped moving. Time stopped in that physical world. He continued floating through the ceiling to somewhere else. It didn't matter. He was not coming back because he was a mistake. He didn't care that a shadow might take over his body. He only knew he wasn't going back. Then a torrent of crystal clear, crisp energy, flowing like water, surrounded him, sparkling like diamonds. It swirled around him, carrying him with it back down into his body. Adam opened his eyes as this energy poured into his body. It was so powerful, his fragile body could not contain all the energy. It was as if this energy formed a second being. It was part of him. It was him. He sat up, feeling this other part of himself so large it extended past his skin. He looked at his hands. They were unfamiliar. A second set of invisible hands overlapping the physical ones, and invisible wings on his back. They were like this invisible energy body overlapping the physical one. Everything was glowing except an area next to him. It was a being made of shadow, not moving. Adam stood, and as he did, the shadow disintegrated. It was gone. What was that? What is this? It's thick. Hard to breathe. Hard to move through. A memory turned. Air. I know this. It's different. No, I'm different. Moving legs to walk. It's so odd. Adam was taking his first steps. A memory returned. They were not his first, but it felt like it. His memories were still there, but he had to search for them. He walked into the bathroom and looked at himself in the mirror. Is that me? He reached up and touched his face. He pulled his eyelid up and looked at his eyes. A memory returned. My eyes were a solid brown, and they're not brown anymore. They're green, overlaying a bit of brown. This is me, but I barely recognize myself. He squeezed the skin on his face. This body reacts, but that's not me. I'm in it, inside this body. How odd. Adam headed toward the front door. Adam, would you come in here? We have a salmon, and I need you to cut a lemon, Daisy said. Okay. Adam walked into the kitchen. Who is that? She's familiar. That memory. Is that my mother? My memory knows her, but I don't know her. Adam stood staring. She wanted him to cut a lemon. He did not know what to do, what that was. Daisy grabbed his hand and put a lemon in it. There's the knife. Now cut it. He searched his memory. Yeah, cutting a lemon. Why would I want to do such a thing to this object? I've done it before. Adam slowly sank the knife into the lemon, cutting it in half. There are two pieces of the same object now. It's still a lemon. You're not really helping. Go on, I'll do it myself. Go do what you were planning to do. Adam proceeded to the front door and walked out. He was stunned. All the colors, so intense. He had never seen any of this. Trees, sky, ground, not like this. He felt part of it all. Everything was alive, just like him. The first thing he noticed moving were the clouds passing by. Hello, Adam said. He felt a peaceful smile flow from the clouds above him. Next he noticed the breeze moving the leaves of the trees. The wind was alive. The trees were alive. He greeted both, feeling contented to have introduced himself. He looked down to see dust swirling in patterns on the ground. The earth is alive. The sun is alive. Everything is alive. Adam was brand new to this existence. He saw everything for the first time, but a part of him still remembered the past. Adam had to force himself to remember. Finally, he opened his senses and looked at himself. We are partially integrated. We are one mind. We are the same being. But this lower version of myself, this body, can't handle this much energy. That's why I'm seeing a second set of physical hands and then this other etheric energy hands. I feel both the physical and etheric bodies as separate entities. Yet we're the same. This is going to take a long time to integrate. A memory returned. Two paths were spiraling around each other. There was a normal life and a secret life no one could see. One in light and one in shadow, twisted like a DNA chain. Adam continued walking down the street, recalling memories, remembering how to be human. He could feel other memories slipping away, being forgotten. Memories of source, being part of oneness, light, love, joy, so much more now forgotten. The body can't handle all these memories. It's not ready. It's going to take months until I feel comfortable in this body. Adam continued walking and began to forget as the memories buried themselves. By the time Adam felt himself again, he had forgotten so much. The only thing left was this etheric presence. He could sense it, feel it. It was him, yet separate from him. He knew something had happened. Something came into him. He wasn't the same as before. He felt more alone than ever. Yet all of reality was his friend. He couldn't tell anyone about it. They would know he was crazy. Chapter 14. Reality Responds. Adam's brother and sisters were off doing their own things while he sat under a tree looking at his new yearly planner. He was penciling in notes for the week, while students arrived at school. Unfortunately, Adam and the school did not have a good relationship, so he was waiting until the last minute before he had to go inside. Monday, PE baseball game. Tuesday, office get mail. Wednesday, town shut down. Thursday, English history test. Friday, math test. Adam looked up at the sky. I wish it would rain so I wouldn't have to join in on that stupid baseball game during PE class. If it rained, he would have to do a few indoor exercises, but mostly it was just sitting in the bleachers of the basketball court. Adam always carried a book with him to read, and loved the rain so he could read. Adam looked back down at his Monday note, PE baseball game. Images formed in Adam's mind as if he saw it on a screen. He saw himself entering the school, going to class, going out for the baseball game, but it started raining. And they went back inside as the rain continues into the next course. Then it stops. Adam glances to the side at the grass growing better now that no one's walking on it. I've never pictured the day like that in my mind before. It's always been just doing it without really thinking. I'm seeing pictures of the entire day, laying the day out in my head as if I'm doing these things. He looked at the next day in the planner. Tuesday, math test, post office, get mail. Images formed just as before. I'm walking to the post office, and that's a long way. Wonder why I'm walking. It must be an adult thing in the way people visualize stuff. The bell rings. It's just another day at school. I should put numbers on each day in my planner, counting down the days until I graduate and get out of here. Adam is more interested in writing numbers on each page than paying attention in class. The bell rings. It's third period. PE class. He ignores the taunts, changes, grabs his glove, and heads outside to the baseball field with the others. Halfway to the field, it starts pouring rain. They all rush back inside. Game canceled. We'll give the ground time to dry and try Wednesday. Put your gear up and get to the bleachers, Principal Belter said in the locker room. Principal Belter is still the PE teacher and a coach. They have not found a replacement for him yet. Adam pulls out the planner and pencils in PE baseball game for Wednesday. That's a coincidence. I saw it rain when I looked at the planner, and it rained. Or did it rain because I looked up and asked? The sky is alive. Maybe it heard me. Guess what I did for the weekend? Still looking at his planner, Adam said, You and your dad went to Alexandria. Bought some fishing gear. Then on the way back, he let you practice driving on some of the locomotives. Yeah, that's what I did. Are you watching me? Are you stalking me? Adam turned to look behind him. They weren't talking to him, yet he had answered. No, I was home reading books. I'm not stalking you. You're such a freak. Adam heard as he was shoved to the ground. The group stood and walked to another area, whispering slurs loud enough for him to hear. I wasn't thinking. I was not even trying to hear. It just happened. God, I've got to be careful. Adam looked up to the sky as he walked home from school. Can you do that again? Next Wednesday? Rain? So the baseball game during PE class gets canceled? Adam laughed under his breath. No, something like that can't happen just by asking. If it rains Wednesday, it's probably because it's always raining in Louisiana. Tuesday ended just like any other school day, except today Adam had penciled in his planner. Post office, get mail. Mom's been letting me drive the car to get the mail. It's good driving practice. If I walk to get mail, is it because it's what I saw, or I'm walking to make it match what I saw? Doesn't really matter. I'll walk. Adam's mind was walking new paths as his body walked to the post office. Why am I so different from others? These memories from before I was born, hearing thoughts. That stuff flowed into me and everything changing. Seeing images of the day is almost like seeing what will happen. Then the rain. Now I'm walking to the post office as I saw. Go. I wish I had something for this headache. Adam looked up. Oh, breeze would be nice. It's hot and I've got a headache. There's a noise behind him. He turns and is hit by a blast of wind. Leaves and papers are flying down the street. There are dark clouds over the tree line. It's an outflow from that rain cloud. Wait, it happened. But there's an ordinary explanation. It's an outflow. Oh, my brain hurts. This is going to be a migraine. Adam had enough money to stop at the drugstore next to the post office and get something for the headache. It's going to be a long walk home. The lights are so bright, it hurts my head. If only I had a giant wood clamp I could put on my head, the pressure might help reduce this pain. Everything's so bright and alive it hurts. There's something else. I'm aware that I'm a separate being from my physical body. Does all reality around me have an individual consciousness? Is it really like me? The pain in his mind shifted lower, and the top of his mind cleared. The migraine pain is now contained as a marble in the base of his skull. The rest of his mind is beginning to perceive a new reality. There's something else here, another existence overlaying this one. Two things in one space, like a body and consciousness. There's another plane of existence. This reality is an illusion. The pain came flooding back. This instance of insight was gone and forgotten in the blinding pain of a migraine headache. It was all Adam could do to make it home, make it to his room, and make it dark as possible and crawl into bed. If he could only get to sleep, it would be gone when he woke. Adam woke the next day. The migraine headache was gone. He felt lucky to be a boy. Their migraines typically go away after sleep. Girls aren't so lucky. Theirs can last days. I don't know how they survive these. Ugh. Wait, PE baseball today. Heading into school, Adam thought, no clouds. Guess it's not going to rain. But it's Louisiana. There's always a chance for rain. So Adam went from class to class, noticing clouds forming then by more. By the time PE class came, it was raining. It happened again, but it still has a rational explanation. It was Friday night. The family was in the car driving to West Monroe to see a movie. At least I'm by a window, Adam thought. It's dark, and there's a thunderstorm in the distance. Weather responding can't be real. There's an explanation for all of it. Still, I wonder. Looking at the storm in the distance, Adam mutters under his breath so no one can hear him. Can you make a lightning bolt strike there? Pointed to something in the distance. A bolt of lightning arcs down and strikes where he's pointing. That's just a coincidence. Make a bolt strike there, he said, pointing to another area behind him. Another bolt of lightning appeared where he pointed. It's not possible. Make one strike over there, he said, pointing another bolt. It begins to dawn on Adam. These might not be coincidences. All right. This time, make it close. If it happens, something else is going on. Make a bolt strike in the tree line up ahead, close to the road. A tree exploded up ahead as a bolt of lightning struck. Did you see that? That was really close, Nick said. There was talk of the lightning strike for the remainder of the trip. Only Adam thought, God, I'm crazy. This can't be real, but it's happening. Am I crazy to believe this is happening? If I tell anyone, they'll put me on medication or lock me up. It's alive. It heard me. It responded. What else is alive and can hear me? This is crazy. Is this how I'm going to live from now on? Having to pretend that I'm normal for the rest of my life when I really am crazy? Adam remained quiet, feeling more alone than he's ever felt. It's that dark path spiraling around in everyday life I saw from before I was born. I'm alone in a crowded car at night. That's going to be my life. Crazy and alone in the dark. Chapter 15. Electric. Jimbo said, Hey Adam, want to ride home? I saved up enough money for my job at Burger Barn and I bought a beat-up car. Sure. Adam opened the door, pushed the front seat forward and slid it back. Becky got in the passenger seat and immediately lit up a cigarette. She took a couple of puffs, then passed it to Jimbo. Becky lit another. You want one? She asked Adam. No thanks. I got sick when I was little. Never again. Jimbo turned the key. Nothing happened. Shit. Battery's dead. Can't afford a new one right now, so I normally keep it on a charger. I guess it didn't hold a charge. It's a standard, though. We can pop the clutch. Becky got behind the wheel as Jimbo and Adam started pushing on the car to back it up. As he pushed, images formed in Adam's mind as if he was moving through the car's hood into the battery. He felt his hands tingling, as if a current of electricity was passing through them into the battery. Finally, as they moved to the back of the car, Adam said, Why don't you try and start it one more time, just before we start pushing. Becky turned the key and the car cranked. Must have been a loose wire. Maybe I should just start parking on a hill just in case, Jimbo said. Oh, turn on the radio. I like that song, Adam said. What song? Flirting with Disaster. Jimbo turned on the car radio. The song was playing. How did you know that song was on the radio? Jimbo asked. I must have heard it from a car driving by. Adam rationalized that's what it must have been. There was no other explanations, although he didn't remember hearing anything from another car. Just no other explanation. Becky said, What do you think about the new kid, Jason? His dad's the new preacher at that church. Suppose there was an opening. Started toward the end of the school year. I guess it must be hard for him. I didn't know there was a new preacher. I haven't been to that church in a while, and I haven't talked to Jason yet, Adam said. They say preacher kids are wild. We might like him, Jimbo said. Dropping Adam off, Becky said, Let us know if you ever need a ride home. Jimbo looked at Becky. Hey, it's my car. Becky said, It's our car. I loaned you some money for it, and until you pay me back, it's our car. Jimbo rolled his eyes as they pulled out of the driveway. I'll put on the hill next time, just in case. I'm home, Adam yelled, entering the house. I'm in here, Daisy yelled back from her bedroom. I can't get this stupid radio to work, she handed it to Adam. He fiddled with the cord a bit. There it is again, that feeling of something flowing around my skin, into my hands, and into the radio. Then, finally, he plugged in the radio and it turned on. How did you get it to work? I just played with the cord. It must have been a loose wire. It had to be a loose wire. The simplest explanation is usually correct. It was just a loose wire. Lying in bed after dinner, Adam thought, I don't know what's happening, but something's happening. I can't talk about it, but I can work with it without others knowing. I guess it's related to my brain. I should exercise my brain more. Maybe I could try doing 2 things at once. Something like a math problem and filling out my planner at the exact same time. Adam picked up his planner and started filling in minor activities he would not normally include. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 8 is 16. He looked down and he wasn't writing. God, it's hard to do. He began writing again, at the same time with both hands. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 8 is 16. Breakfast, school, homework, dinner. I did it. It's more complicated than it looks. I was only able to do a tiny bit, then I lost it. It's probably like sports. The more you practice, the better you get. I don't have to keep practicing this. At least it's something I can do in public without others noticing. Baseball during PE class was rained out again. The kids were sitting in the gym bleachers, girls on one side and the boys on the other side. They were told to be doing homework. Everyone was quiet. Then the girls started laughing. Dean, the mentally challenged girl that was constantly bullied, had started dancing in the middle of the basketball court. There was no music. The girls were heckling her loudly from the stands. It didn't take long for the boys to join in. Where are the teachers? Why do people do this? She's got a pure soul and the most genuine smile I've ever seen. Why can't they see that? Adam sat there looking, not knowing what to do. No. It was an impression like a voice in his head. Adam walked onto the gym floor without another thought and began dancing with her. There was no music, only the taunts from the stands. Dean was giggling. Her smile was brighter than the sun. It wasn't long before she ran back to the stands giggling. Adam watched her join the other girls. They're not bullying her anymore. She's happy, and there's nothing they can do. Adam continued to be bullied the rest of the day. It's okay. It was a moment she needed. It was worth it. He was greeted by Becky and Jimbo the next day before entering school. Did you hear what happened? Becky asked. No. Dean died. Her trailer caught on fire last night. Her family ran out front, and she ran out back. They figured she ran back in, and she didn't see them with her. She died in the fire. We feel like shit for being mean to her. Adam was stunned. Jimbo said, the whole school feels like shit. Everybody wishes they would have treated her nice like you. The days leading up to the funeral were the same. Kids at school came up to Adam saying they wished they would have treated her better, how bad they felt. He didn't know what to say in return. Just talk that they needed or expected to hear. Words didn't mean much to him, but their actions did. They were treating each other better. The other girl with leg braces was no longer being bullied. They were being nice to her, picking up her books instead of knocking them out of her hands. It wasn't just Becky and Jimbo that changed. It was all of them. "Are you coming?" Nick asked. "No." "Why not? You knew her better than any of us, and you should be at the funeral." "I want to go, but the attention would be focused on me if I do. So I'm going to stay here." "All right, we'll let you know how it went." Adam went back to his bedroom and cried. She was truly a good person, and she died. Something happened that Adam couldn't identify. Something needed to be done, and he did it. But he didn't know what it was. It was a turning point in his life. If he had a choice to be like Dean or the other kids at school, he would choose to be like Dean, no matter how much bullying he would take. "We're back," Daisy said, entering the door with the others. "The school kids were there and talked about how you treated her nice. But then her father was at the podium talking and said that you gave her one of the happiest days in her life. She loved that moment." "Adam, someone's here to see you," Luke said. Adam wiped his face and went to the front door. "I'm Jason. My dad's the new preacher over there at that church nearby, so I had to be at the funeral. I heard what you did and wanted to meet you. I can drive and have my dad's car. Want to go for a ride?" "Sure." Then Adam yelled, "Mom, I'm going riding with Jason. He's the son of the preacher who did the funeral." "Okay, don't be out too long." They drove just a few minutes, which was more than enough time to stop in a field outside the city. It was getting dark as they got out and sat on the hood of the car. Jason lit up a hand-rolled cigarette and took a drag. "Here." "What is that?" "It's weed, marijuana." "I don't like smoking, but I'll try it." He inhaled. "Hold it for a few seconds, then breathe out. Yeah, like that." "It didn't make me sick." "Yeah, it's not bad." "So, your dad is the preacher? What's that like?" "It's terrible. My dad doesn't have his own church. When a church loses a preacher suddenly, he fills in until they get a permanent replacement. That means we move around a lot. Sometimes we'll only be at a place for a month or two. It's going to be the same here. I've heard talk they've already found a replacement, so I don't expect I'll be here very long." "God, that sucks." "Yeah, I don't have time to make real friends, so I seek the outsiders to talk to, kids my own age. And that's you, from what I hear. You did something everybody's talking about. Did you know Dean very well?" "No, not really. Just passing down the hall. I was just nice to her. Everybody else bullied her." "Well, that won't happen anymore." "It's getting dark. I wish we could see some meteors," Jason said, stretching out on the hood of the car. "Yeah, seeing meteors would be nice." "Whoa, did you see that? That was a meteor." "Yeah, I saw it." "Let's hang out here on the hood of the car for a while. Maybe we'll see more." "Okay," Adam said, also stretching out on the hood of the car. "I wish those city lights weren't so bright. So we could see the meteors better if they weren't on." "Let me try something." Adam stretched his arms above his head. He crossed them over the windshield. "God, I said that out loud. That cigarette really loosened me up. If those electricity feelings earlier are genuine, maybe I can do something about the lights. See, electricity flows in lines. Sometimes they short circuit. Maybe I can reach out with this electric feeling again, this time crossing my arms and feel like it's being short-circuited." There was a flash, then an explosion. The city lights went out. "That was really weird. We were just talking about the city lights and then they go out." "Yeah, that was a bizarre coincidence." "Did I do that? I'm freaking out. It must be this weed. Oh, this marijuana is dangerous if it loosens me up like this and I start talking. Cool. It'd be great to see another meteor." "There's another one. Did you see it?" "Yeah, I saw it." "I wish we could stay out here, but Mom doesn't want me out too late. We'll head back." As Jason dropped Adam off, he said, "Let's hang out sometime. Seems we're both outsiders here and we need to stick together." "Definitely an outsider, so yeah. See you at school." "Mom, I'm home. Did you have a good time?" "Yeah, I made a new friend. Jason, the preacher's son." "That's good. Dinner's in the fridge. You can heat it up if you want some." "Okay, I'll heat it up. Thanks." This has been a crazy week. I wonder what else is going to happen. That night, he felt something rub his groin. "Don't stop," he thought as he fell asleep. He'd been dreaming about sex a lot. That night, he dreamed of sex with shadowy figures, some with glowing red eyes. And it felt good. Chapter 16, Dark Attack. Adam had these dreams often. This one was different. They were getting darker and more intense. He was tied down by 3 beautiful women. One was on top as the other 2 held him down. Adam's body responded. It felt good. She cut his face with a knife. Pain. Fear. The women changed to 3 men with oily brown hair and red eyes. They pulled him to the edge of the table and flipped him over. He was being held down as a more prominent man violated him. Pain. Then laughing. He was now the man violating the one with the oily brown hair. The man felt fear. It made Adam feel powerful. It felt good. Adam woke. "God, gotta clean me up again. What was that? Where did that come from? I liked it, but what did I like the most? The sex or the power? I'm such a freak." He felt different as he stepped into the shower across from his bedroom. This is part of him. It must be part of everybody because people do bad things, like bullying at school. Is this normal? To feel this dark part of yourself and like it? Wanting more? Is that what makes people do bad things? I like that feeling of power over someone. I shouldn't, but I did. Why? He got dressed and walked to school like usual. He couldn't help but think about the dream. It felt so real, to have that kind of power over people. "Oh, it's going to be a long day if I keep getting hard in every class. I can't stop thinking about that dream. God, I don't think I can take being in school that long. I have got to get out of here." He let himself feel the electricity in the room. It spiraled around the thoughts of the dream. Building. He crossed his wrist under the desk and pictured wires crossing, trying to create a short circuit, then pushed the thought into the wiring. The lights went out. The school canceled classes for the rest of the day. He took a longer path getting home, through the woods. He found a secluded spot and opened his pants. He thought of the dream and let it take over. Oh yeah, power. Oh fuck yeah. He felt the spasms of relief. Christ, what was that? I don't want to be like that. I don't want to hurt people. I couldn't stop it. It's normal to want power. This is how you get it. Adam woke the next day. More dreams. I guess morning showers are my new routine. I should add it to my planner. Luke burst in while Adam was showering. He had forgotten about the rest of the family. Adam had become consumed with his own teenage drama without thinking about theirs. He should have locked the door. "Don't you knock. Lock the door if you don't want people in." "What do you want?" "School's out. They haven't got the power fixed," Luke said, heading back out the door. Nice. There'd be a few chores, but he could do some reading. Perhaps he could walk to the highway and get a burger for lunch. Everyone will be there with school being out. "I'm walking to the burger barn," Adam yelled to the house in general as he headed out the door. It's a free day during the week and school's out. Burger barn is the place to be. Okay. Practice. Blow the power again. It's normal. Huh? It couldn't hurt. Crossing wrists is a minor thing. No one's going to pay attention while I walk. The rest is just thoughts and visualizing. Adam thought about the dreams. The feeling of walking while hard matching the images in his head. He felt electricity around him, crossed his wrist, then pushed the thoughts of electricity, short-circuiting. There was an explosion behind him. He turned in time to see another transformer blow, and then another right beside him. It was a chain reaction. He heard tires squealing on the pavement. He turned to see a car going off the road near him. It would have hit him. Workers from the auto shop nearby ran out to check the driver, and she was unhurt. She could have been hurt or killed. I could have been hurt or killed. I'm not going to do this anymore. Everything's fine. No one's hurt. Practice is good. No. Whatever you are, part of me or not, get out. Get out now. He felt something separate from his body. He couldn't see anything, but he felt it. It was there in front of him. The more of its presence he felt, the better image he could create in his mind. There was no longer any doubt. There is something there. Invisible, but real. Memories of walking with a migraine headache returned, seeing another plane of existence, overlaying the one everyone sees with their eyes. It's there, on this other plane of existence. It's real. Then it moved to the side and vanished. Adam felt his usual self again. No more urges for control or power. No urges to interfere with electricity. Just himself. That confirms it. I'm crazy. Transformers probably blew because they were working on trying to get the school up and running, but somebody screwed up. Rational explanation for electricity, except for this presence. I'm crazy. Maybe I can be a kind of crazy that doesn't hurt anybody. He continued his walk to the burger barn, purchased a hamburger and a drink. Then he headed home. It began raining as he walked in the front door. Nothing else to do but read. He dreamed of flying through the universe in a ship that responded to his thoughts that night, shifting dimensions and passing through solid objects. He had dreams like this before. He's in control. Nothing like the darker dreams from before. Adam woke the following day feeling like the world was an illusion, maybe a stage, like that Shakespeare quote, almost if he is the only actor on the scene and all these other people are just props. They're not like him. Even if I am the only actor on the stage, there's no reason to control everything else. I can still interact and learn. I want to help, not harm. God, that sounds delusional. Yep, I'm crazy. He thought back to the events of yesterday. It felt familiar. Yeah, from his childhood. That being floating outside his window, red eyes, and the body covered in oily brown hair. Now there's no one protecting him. Adam felt the same fear now as he felt then. There it is again. That presence. In my room. Adam felt more fear. It grew stronger and moved through a nearby wall. The picture on the wall fell. It knocked it off the wall. It's not my imagination. Adam grabbed his school books and headed out the door as fast as possible. Paranoia ruled the day. It felt like it was more than just one presence now. It was several. An invisible gang stalking him. This image in his mind of an overlapping reality was now permanent. His eyes see reality just as everyone else. However, his mind is creating an overlay that includes these things. Formless until he concentrated and let these other senses take over. These different senses providing enough details to know where they are, what they look like, and when they moved. They are basically humanoid, but some of them seem to be in several places at once. What are they? Being home from school, eating dinner with the family didn't help. They're still there, watching. What are they doing? Waiting? I wish Mom and Dad could see them. One moved closer through the table in front of him. Fear. It grew in strength. Adam's glass tipped over, spilling water on the table. Here's some napkins to clean it up, Daisy said. Thanks. I'm clumsy. Adam knew he didn't knock over the glass, but what else could he say? And they wouldn't believe him. When he talked to them about hearing thoughts, they didn't believe him. So why would they start now? Especially with something he can't share or prove. It was his secret. Adam could feel them all around him as he lay in bed that night. They surrounded his bed. Images appeared in his mind meant to instill fear. Images of torture and being torn apart. He was alone and afraid. They got stronger. He didn't want to sleep, but he was tired of everything happening. It was out of control. He woke to find himself outside. He remembered getting out of bed and walking out the back door of their bedroom. He didn't know why he was at the tree line. He could see his house in the distance. Did they get me out here? Can they do that? Fear. Overwhelming fear. He felt a presence. much more substantial than the others. It towered over Adam. A force hit him, and he fell back, hitting a tree. No one to catch him this time. Out of breath, he looked up. It's coming after him, and he's alone in the dark. Adam looked up. I don't know what to do. I need help. Please. His eyes see stars in the night sky, but his mind opens to a memory, looking down at Earth, as if through the eye of a hurricane, moving closer. A memory of wanting to help, moving closer. Seeing Adam floating above his body, needing help, wrapping himself around Adam and pulling him back down into the physical body, trying to become one with it. It's me. I'm helping myself. I'm more than this physical body, more than what I remember from before. I'm also that other one. This energy is with me, etheric. I'm all of it. The fear was gone. Adam felt peace in the truth of knowing. I'm more than this, he thought, looking at his hand, sensing his etheric set of hands, his etheric self. He felt a light inside build and surround him. He was encased in a bubble of light. The large being swung at him and hit the light as if it was solid. It tried several more times. Anger and hate flooded around him. Nothing got through. Adam stood up. He felt life in everything around him. They were his friends, and he loved them. The dark being flinched, then began backing away. The shadows began to dissipate. The more prominent being is fading away. Adam looked up toward the stars. Something was out there. Something familiar. Smiling. Chapter 17. Fighting. What really happened last night? Those things attacked. I still don't know what they are. That bubble of light? At peace, knowing I'm more than just this physical body? I'm this awareness as well. Is it life? Is it consciousness? Is it just me being crazy? Adam laughed and continued his walk to school. But these scrapes from hitting the tree, it was real. I can't prove that it happened. Maybe I just dreamed all that and fell out of bed scraping my back on something. Whoa! What is that? The surrounding he sees with his eyes are the same as he sees in his mind. He's still feeling this overlay, but everything matches except on the school bus passing by. His eyes are viewing the school bus as it is physically. His mind is also sensing and building an image of a small dark shadow moving within the bus. It's one of those things inside the bus. The bus turned a corner and went out of sight. Walking into school, he felt another one by the water fountain. I can feel it. He let his mind build an image of his surroundings, then let his senses add to the picture. The overlay in his mind is showing him a 5-foot, 10-inch humanoid shadow moving through the wall into the next room. It's not my classroom. I can't go in there, he thought, walking down the hall. He continued focusing on the humanoid shadow as he walked into his classroom and sat at his desk. He was unable to pay attention in class. Instead, he was focused on the thing. He had a map of the school in his mind now. He could see it moving from room to room. His senses were expanding. He could feel the people in the room. He could feel the walls, the floor, even the foundation under the floor. It's moving into the cafeteria. He could track it. He felt a surge of anger from the entity. It grew larger in his mind, then vanished. It's gone. Did it know I was watching it? His mind battled the remainder of the school day, trying to determine if this was real or if he was crazy. Finally, he gave up when the school bell rang. It was time to go home. He could feel it before he entered the house. Another one. Or is it the same one from school and it followed me? I can feel it in the kitchen. He entered and began walking into the kitchen. I'm home. I am in the kitchen making sweet tea, Daisy said. Adam walked into the kitchen. Do you want some tea? Sure. He could see it in his mind, standing next to his mother. The 5-foot 10-inch humanoid shadow solidified and reached out. The knife sitting on the counter slid to the edge.
She's going to run into it. He picked up the knife and put it in the drawer. Noticing his actions, Daisy said, "Silly me, I must have left it sitting out. Here's your tea." "Thanks." He stood there drinking the tea, feeling relief that she wasn't hurt. Even though she can't understand me, I still love her. But there's that feeling again, one of light building up within, one of peace and confidence. He felt it expand beyond himself and encompass Daisy. He could feel it, see it in the mental image overlaying the reality in front of him. The shadow was pushed away from Daisy. It cannot get through the light now surrounding her. This feeling comes from inside, one of peace, knowing you are more than physical. It can be expanded. It felt it. The light pushed it away. He did not want Daisy to notice, so he continued drinking tea standing at the counter. At the same time, he let this feeling of light and love expand into the room, as if the whole room was glowing. The shadow was pushed out of the kitchen. It can't stay in the light. He built an image of his house in his mind. There, Adam is in the kitchen, a starting point. Feeling this light and love expand from the kitchen through the rest of the house, using the mental image as a guide, going from room to room. He felt it. It was real. The humanoid shadow Adam could see in his mind was furious. Anger, hate, violence. It flailed at the light as it was pushed out of the house. Then it was gone. Adam finished the tea and headed to his bedroom. It worked. That feeling of light can be used for protection. Even if I am crazy, I found something that works. I did it in front of Mom. She didn't notice. I can do both things at the same time. Like when expanding my brain with a math problem in the planner, doing two things at once. It's possible. He felt happy. He had found something he could use to protect himself and others. Is this permanent? Can they never come back inside the house? Does it fade? I guess I'll find out. "Adam, come on. We're going to be late for Luke's basketball game," Nick said. "Do I have to go?" "You need to go and support your brother." Growing angry, Adam said, "I don't get sports. It's just a bunch of running back and forth. I don't get it. Why do people cheer for that?" "Fine. Then stay here. You can stay in your books forever. You'll have to be part of the real world sometime," Nick said, shutting the door harder than usual. Part of the real world? What is real? I'm stuck in this crazy world of mine. Getting angrier, Adam thought. I can't talk to anybody. If I do, I just get ridiculed. How is that being part of the real world? You want to talk to people about it, but they laugh at you. How is that real? Maybe I'm the only one living in this real world, and you're all just illusions. Ever think about that? Of course not. You're not real, and you can't think beyond what's right in front of you. It was there, grinning. Adam didn't notice until he moved. He stepped out of that one spot, and something was left behind when he did. It quickly moved back into him, but not fast enough. For that brief instant, Adam was not angry. Something shifted when he moved, and then he was angry again. Something's not right. I should have gone. I really wanted to go. But then this anger. Is this a teenager thing? Another flash of anger, then hatred towards Nick for making him feel bad for staying home. No. That's not me. This is something else. He made himself be still, focused on a small point of light inside, peaceful, and let it expand around himself. The shadowy humanoid figure moved and was now beside him. There it is. It's back, inside the house with me. This protective light fades. I can't keep it up all the time. It was there grinning. It could wait forever. It would be there, ready for the moment Adam was not paying attention. It's moving to leave the house. I can't let it escape and do this again. I can expand this light to the whole house. That'll just push it outside. Maybe if I only extend it to specific sections. Adam focused on the light around him. He pictured the light changing from a bubble to a wall in his mind. He felt it, a wall that expanded outwards to encompass the walls of the living room, then further expanding it to the ceiling and floors. It's now a box of light with the two of them in it. It turned, surprised. It tried to get out but was blocked. It was trapped. It could not attack. Adam still had the light around him. It grew angrier. Images of violence and hate poured into Adam's mind. I have you, Adam said, fighting against the rage he was sensing. I'm not going to let you do this to anybody else. Adam felt this awareness of self that extended beyond his physical form solidify. He had no doubts. It was him, and it was real. He felt wings on his back harden. He had forgotten about him. He considered this energy to be part of himself, just like ears. They're part of you, but you don't really use them for anything. They're present, but inactive. But of course, they weren't inactive anymore. He felt a physical pressure on his back around the shoulder blades. The wings he sensed expanding outwards. He's in control of them. He can move them just like his arms and legs. He reached out with his left wing. The figure moved away from it. He reached out with the right wing to block it from moving. It ran into this wing. Adam felt it. These wings can touch this thing. He pulled the two wings together, grasping the humanoid figure. He could hold it in place. It raged. Adam raged back. You are not going to do this to anyone else, ever again. It looked at him, panicked. It heard me rage at it. It can hear the negative, anger, rage, hate. It can hear that. A piece of shadow split off. The central entity shrank to 5 feet. The other part was trying to escape the box of light. Adam reached out with his physical hand and felt this other ethereal hand expand. He reached out and grabbed the smaller shadow, holding it. Adam felt the light from inside himself grow even brighter, moving down into his arm, into this ethereal hand, grasping the shadow. The shadow disintegrated. That shadow is gone. Adam looked back to the central entity held in his wings. It felt more determined than ever. You're never going to do this to anyone ever again. He thought about all the people it may have hurt. Images of people with this thing filled his mind. The light within became blinding, moving through his wings into the entity. It could not withstand what was happening and began to disintegrate, pieces of shadow burning off. It grew smaller until it vanished altogether. Shaking, Adam bent over, putting his hands on his knees. What just happened? I'm so tired. I'm alone in this house. I don't want to be alone right now. He was dazed, forgetting to lock the front door on the way out. He walked to the school gymnasium where he found his parents. So you decided to join us? Nick said. Yeah, I changed my mind. Good. Adam did as he'd done so many times before. He pretended to be like everyone else. Adam was good at it. He joined in with the cheering and the clapping, getting snacks and drinks from the concession stand, riding home, talking about the game. Everything appeared normal. But Adam knew different. For him, everything was not normal. Everything changed. He could protect himself. He could protect his family. He could fight these things. His family did not notice him wiping tears from his eyes. He was happy. Happy tears. I'm so backwards. Chapter 18, Silver Sword. The dark entity attacks continued, but they were sporadic. Sometimes weeks would go by. Sometimes the shadowy figures were small, and other times they were the size of adults. Adam learned through these fights that he could attract them using fear. He would allow himself to feel a false sense of fear, and they would come to him. Adam was able to deceive them into thinking his fear was real. He learned he could project this sense of fear to a location. He could move them from place to place. It was as if they are hunting, wanting to feed on that fear. He would be there waiting. I'm not going to let them harm anyone else ever again. He also continued to talk to the sky as a friend. It responded to him if he stayed within the natural order of things. Rain would not fall if he asked for it immediately, but would if he gave enough time for clouds to form. The sky would respond like pre-planned baseball games. During PE class, they were all rained out. However, the wind was different. It would respond immediately. Like at a recent funeral, the air was still. The people were hot. He asked the wind to blow, and it started blowing hard enough that it blew the tent over. He didn't understand it. He just knew that they were alive. That all of reality is alive as everyone else. He needed friends, and all of reality was his friend. His confidence grew. There have got to be others out there like him. Maybe they were hiding as well. If he opened up even a little, he might be able to find them. Perhaps Becky and Jimbo. They were outsiders like him. Maybe he could bring it up to them. Perhaps he could have human friends. He decided to slip it in a conversation during recess. It was cold, but they were still outside smoking, shivering. Christmas break was over, and they were back at school. Do you think there's life other than humans out there? Adam asked. You mean like aliens? Jimbo asked. I don't know. It could be aliens. It could be something we can't see. Another plane of existence. It could be the sky we're looking at now, he said, looking up. Maybe aliens, but not that other stuff. It's too far out there. Becky spoke up. I don't believe any of it. There's nothing about us slobs. She looked at Jimbo, punched him, then passed him the cigarette. Is there a reason you brought this up? Did you see aliens or something? No, not aliens, but sometimes things respond when asked, like all the PE class baseball games that got rained out. First, I'd asked for them to be rained out, then they all got rained out. It makes me wonder. That's just Louisiana. It's always raining. Every day. You had nothing to do with it. You'd have to prove something like that. Can you prove it? I don't know. We could try something. Like what? You could ask the sky for snow. If it snows, maybe it's alive. It hardly ever snows in Louisiana. Well, that'll make it even more real to know you're not faking it. Why don't you say write a date and time down on a piece of paper that you want it to snow. We can seal the paper and give it to Jimbo to read out loud if it snows. If it matches, then maybe there's something to it. That's insane. Let's do it, Jimbo said. Okay, Becky said, finding a piece of paper and writing. Here's the time and a date. How do we seal it? Jimbo took the piece of paper. I'll get the tape and wrap around it. Then if the paper's torn, we'll know it's been opened. Don't forget to ask the sky for it to snow on your date and time when we're not around, Adam said. All right, it's cold. I'm going back inside. I'm going inside too, Jimbo said, following her. Left alone, Adam looked up at the sky. Would you please respond to her request of snow? I need somebody to believe me. Please respond to her if you can. Please? The school bell rang for recess to be over. He went back inside nervous. Maybe it won't work, and that'll prove I'm crazy after all. The bell rang for classes to be over. Only 2 hours earlier, as Becky caught up with Adam, she was pulling Jimbo along with her. Open the note, Jimbo. You have it right? I told you to get it from your locker. You got it? Yeah, I got it. Open it. He opened the note and read. His eyes got wide and he looked at Becky. That is the exact date and time I wrote down. I wrote that 2 weeks ago. Look at the tape. It's not open before now. How did you know? I didn't know. You're the one who asked. You didn't tell me the date or time. How would I know? Adam said. She thought before responding. It's too much for me. It's too weird. I don't need this. I get enough shit in my life. I don't need this. She tore up the paper and let the pieces fall to the ground. Come on, Jimbo. We're getting out of here. Stay away from us, Adam. I don't need this crazy shit in my life. I'm sorry, but I follow her, Jimbo said, literally following her to his car. I thought I might find some friends. It backfired. I lost the only two people I could have been friends with here. Adam walked to the line of students waiting to get on the bus. I'm alone again. At least I'll be warm on the way home. Adam woke late the following day and got in the shower. He was feeling lonely and depressed after what happened with Becky and Jimbo. I might never have friends. He stepped out of the shower, dried off, and looked at himself naked in the full-length mirror. Of course, it's just a reflection showing flesh. Nevertheless, it made him feel lonelier than before. What's that? He was seeing the overlay again. Something inside him that can't be seen with physical eyes, yet his senses were building an image in his mind. It was difficult to see. Looking in the mirror, Adam raised both arms, pointed his fingers, and traced in the air, starting on the ground beneath his feet. Then raising his arms, letting his fingers trace a pattern up the center. The design went up through the groin to the shoulders, then out to the sides, back to the center of the body, then parallel lines up above his head. When his hands were fully extended above his head, there was a flash in his mind. He looked at himself again in the mirror. There he saw a sword of silver. The hilt of the sword is in his shoulders, moving up to his head. The blade of the sword pointed down from his shoulders between his legs. It began to turn, blade pointing upward. It moved down his body and over his head, glowing. He stood there with his mouth open. He wasn't thinking, he was feeling. It didn't feel like a weapon. How can it be a sword and not a weapon? Seeing it made him feel better, a feeling of home. He put his palms to his face and began rubbing. How much longer do I have before guys in straitjackets show up and drag me off? He looked back at the image in the mirror. The sword in his mind was gone. It's just a naked boy in the mirror. Adam, you want to drive? Daisy asked. Yeah. He took his driver's license and took any opportunity offered. Everyone in the car. It's only a 2-hour drive away. We can stop and get something to eat on the way back, Daisy said. She had it all planned out. Nick learned of a potential job opportunity back in West Monroe and took the weekend to visit his uncle. Maybe get some leads and talk with people. While he was away, they would spend some time touring a historic home. Daisy loved history and genealogy. A perfect spring day for a trip. The drive was uneventful. Daisy already knew the history of the home and enjoyed telling all 4 kids all about it. She also included any relations she discovered. Genealogy is her passion, after all. You could see it in her eyes every time she started sharing. The house is in a remote area. It has a long drive with big trees. They charge for the tours and use the money to keep everything maintained and manicured. Daisy paid the fee, and they joined a small group gathering to tour the house. Adam liked to be in the back. He was in the back when they went to church. Adam is the last in line to a buffet. He wanted to stay anonymous and out of sight if possible. Adam was the last in the tour group line as well. No one saw him recoil as he walked through the front door. The pressure began to build as he walked forward. He only made it a couple of steps. His body reacted as if he had hit something physical, a barrier. He backed out of the house confused. Crap, I don't know what this is, but that tour group is leaving me. They'll notice. He stepped into the doorway. There's that pressure. A force builds with each step he takes. He pushed through and felt something shatter like glass breaking. He caught up with the group. No one noticed. What was that? He felt something else as soon as the barrier shattered. A presence. He built an image in his mind of his surroundings, and there it is. Something out of place. Moving. He stayed with the tour group, continually adding to the house's layout as they walked, overlaying what his senses were telling him, watching the entity move. I haven't been in a fight with one of these things in months. I can't do anything here in front of everyone. That's the end of the tour. You're free to move about the house. Please don't touch anything and keep your small children with you. The grounds are also available to tour on your own. There are tables available outside if you brought your lunch. Thank you for visiting. Let's go outside and see the stables. Then we can look at the garden, Daisy said. The remainder of the tour group had already headed out in that direction. I'm going to stay inside and take a closer look at some of the rooms, Adam said. Okay, we'll be up back. Adam went to one of the bedrooms on the ground floor. There's no one in the house, and the entity is there in the room. He did what he usually does. Feel the light build inside. Infuse the walls, ceiling, and floor with the light, creating a box, cutting off escape routes. Reaching out with these ethereal wings to grab and hold the entity. Something's not right. There's no anger. There's no hate. It's not trying to get away. He focused on the entity even more, and the shape became more apparent. It's a human child? A young girl in a yellow dress. She sees me looking at her. He felt a wave of loneliness come from her. She's lost. Lonely in a crowd. Can't find her family. God. Memories of his own loneliness, being different from everyone else, that there's a family out there, somewhere that he can't find. Tears started running down his face. I know how she feels. No one should ever feel like that. I don't know what to do. His wings drew her to him. She didn't resist. He held out his hands as his wings pulled the entity into his body. This ghostly girl was now inside him. The girl's memories merged with Adam's. You're not alone. You'll never be alone again. I'm here with you. There was a flash in his mind, and he felt the silver sword again. The little girl smiled, no longer alone. He remembered when he first traced the outline of the sword. The last thing he did was hold his arms up into the air, and the sword began glowing. I don't know what else to do. He raised his arms in the air, reaching for something high above him. The sword turned, blade pointing upwards. It moved up his body above his head. It began glowing. Then a beam of light shot upward from the blade. Adam recalled a memory that had been locked away. One of source, light, love, joy. That feeling of a family again, coursing through the blade, through the beam of light. He felt joy from the little girl as she moved upward toward the blade, then continued along the light path. She was gone. The sword slowly dimmed as it turned, blade pointing down, and entered Adam, back where it began. Adam felt drained, looked around. God, no one saw that. I'm exhausted. I don't think I can even drive back. God, I need to find the others. Hey, Adam said, reaching Daisy, who was in the deep discussion with the tour guide. Hey, welcome back. I was just talking with Nicole, and she's full of great information. She even said the house is haunted by a little girl. Isn't that fascinating? That's pretty neat, Adam said. Was that a ghost? The soul of a child? Where did it go? What happened? Daisy drove while Adam slept in the back seat with Bonnie and Sissy. Luke was happy to be riding up front. Adam made it to his bedroom, then went to sleep, even though it was still daylight. He woke the next day wondering if he had really interacted with the ghost. She felt lost, and then found her family. What he saw was confirmed by the tour guide. Is all this real? She was real. Are the other things real? What am I? He mentally quoted a phrase that always made him feel better. Okay, take another step and keep moving forward. Chapter 19, Lost Souls. They often went to visit Adam's grandmother at the old homestead, the pink house they called it, even though it was salmon colored. His grandfather got it from another relative in 1911. It was initially a 2-room dog trot house when Daisy was born there. She was the youngest of 6 kids. Since then, the back porch had been enclosed with an indoor bathroom. A kitchen and dining area were also added. The front porch faced east. It was the perfect place to have conversations with coffee. If you got lucky, you might see a fishing boat motor down the river that passed in front of the house. Daisy dropped Nick off at his sister's house in Gina before turning onto the dirt road leading to her mother's house. It dead-ended into a national wildlife refuge. There are no other roads, so it's the only entrance and exit to the few places remaining. There isn't a town nearby, only the river. Unfortunately, the river is not always low like it is now. The house has flooded several times, though it sits 3 feet off the ground. The worst was the Great Mississippi Flood of 1927. That year, the water reached the roof of the house. "Visit with your mama before running off," Daisy said, opening the front gate leading to the porch. They were greeted by Ruth coming onto the porch. "Hi, Mama," the kids said, talking over one another. Bonnie and Sissy ran to the wood swing at one end, while the boy sat on the concrete steps. "Hi, Mom. It's been so long. You're looking great." "Hi, Daisy. It's so nice to see you. Your kids have grown so much. Would you like some coffee?" "I'd love some coffee." That was all the visiting they needed. The kids looked around to see who would be the first to jump off the porch and start exploring. It was Luke, followed by Adam. Bonnie and Daisy were last because they were on the swing away from the steps. "Watch out for snakes!" Daisy yelled as they headed into the kitchen. There were always snakes. Daisy had taught them never to lift or flip something over without using a tool to move it first. Also make lots of noise while walking through the brush to scare the snakes away. She had gone over it so many times that it was now habit for the kids. She told stories about how some of her relatives could even smell snakes, but none of the kids knew how to do that. And there are so many areas to explore, all dangerous in their own way. But Daisy would not keep them sheltered. She let the kids run free and figure things out on their own. The old red barn is supposed to be off limits because it's on the verge of collapsing. They used to jump out of the hayloft, but no longer. There is the river. They were always on the watch for alligators because where there's water, there's always an alligator. They could walk to the end of the dead-end road, but it would take the entire visit. There was the lane flanked by pecan trees leading to the crawfish ponds. More snakes and alligators. There were also woods with lots of animal trails to follow. Here, nature is still wild, and when it gets dark, you can't see the hand in front of your face. Luke found a fishing pole and headed toward the river, while the girls checked out the old tractor. Adam decided to walk down the road a bit, not to the end, maybe to that old home that had burned long ago, with only part of the chimney left standing. This part of the road has thick brush. You can't see the river running next to it. It remained this way until he reached a clearing on the right. In this open area are large pecan trees and older crepe myrtles that would still be around a house if it was still here. Now it's just part of a foundation and chimney. Someone with a metal detector could probably find a lot of stuff here. Adam began exploring the area, finding a few square nails he put in his pocket. It mainly was broken pieces of brick. There's that feeling again, like something out of place. He began the familiar process of building an image in his mind. The old foundation, the chimney, bricks, pecan trees, even the vines growing up the trees. There it is, something out of place just past the foundation, behind the house. He focused on the area, sensing a presence, building an image of the presence in his mind, letting it overlay what his eyes were seeing. It's dark, shadowy, a dark entity. It moved and vanished. It just disappeared. It started moving and vanished. He focused even more. Nothing. With the overlay still in his mind, he started thinking about what the house would have looked like before it collapsed. His imagination took over, and the overlay in his mind changed. There were walls, doors, a chimney, a roof, and people. There it is again, that dark entity, shadow. It's an adult man standing outside. He's covered in the shadow. I can barely see him. He's in pain, looking at the house. He vanished before when I saw everything as it currently is, but he reappeared when seeing the house from long ago? The shadowy man looked at him, then vanished again. Did he see me? He was here in the present. Then he was in the past when the house was standing. Did he move through time? Adam stopped focusing so hard and let the overlay in his mind drift through time. It went from past to present. There he is again. He's moving through time like climbing a ladder. The bottom of the ladder is where he's standing behind the still intact house. And the top of the ladder is the present. He can move up and down the ladder through time. I thought he was one of those dark entities, but he's a man. Is he like that little girl in the yellow dress? What the tour guide called a ghost. But he's different from her, and I don't know how to help him. No, one thing I do know how to do is to get rid of that shadowy stuff. Adam felt that spark of light inside himself expand into a bubble. Then he changed the shape to create walls, a floor, and a ceiling. This time, it would have to be there in the past and in the present. It would have to be there through all those points in time. The being tried shifting through time, but it did not move to the side. Instead, it stayed in one place. Adam reached out with his invisible wings. They were extensions of himself, just like arms and legs, and he used them. Grabbing and holding the entity, Adam let light stream through his wings into the entity. A feeling of despair and anger burst from the entity. Shadow engulfed it as it tore free from Adam's grip. It was striking back. It shifted through time, tearing at the wings in anger. Hopelessness pulled it away when Adam tried to grab it. Adam reached out with all his being and finally held it in place. Sending love and light into it from a distance isn't working. Maybe it would work if I did what I did with that little girl. Adam pulled it. The entity fought back. It wanted to stay where it was. I'm trying to help you. Stop fighting, Adam said quietly. No. It hurt me. You're stuck in this place and can't get out. I'm going to help you. The moment Adam pulled the entity inside himself, images flashed in his mind. Image of a house burning, wife, children, screaming, helplessness, despair, loss. Can't leave them. A gunshot. Stuck at that moment. Adam felt it all. Adam didn't know what else to do. He thought what he did with the lonely little girl. You're not alone. You never will be alone. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Adam thought this repeatedly while pouring feelings of light, love, and understanding toward it. Minutes passed, and the shadows began to melt away. The darkness around the man faded until there was only the man left. Feelings of love for family came from the man. There was a silver flash of light inside, and the sword appeared. It flipped with a blade pointing upward and moved above Adam's head, glowing. A beam of light shot out to what felt like the source of all things, home. The man felt joy and followed the beam upward, then vanished. The blade flipped, entered Adam, and disappeared as well. Adam sat on the log thinking. The little girl was alone. This man was stuck and covered in darkness, despair, and they couldn't find their way out of that moment. Lost. Is that what they are? Lost souls? He looked at the trees, then the sky, and asked, Is this why I'm like this? Is this what I'm supposed to do? He didn't expect an answer and didn't get one. After a few minutes, he walked back down the road to the pink house, grabbed a soda, and joined the others on the porch. Did you have fun walking down the road? Daisy asked. I guess. I'm seeing new things and learning. Well, that's good, she said, rejoining the conversation with Ruth regarding family history. I'm telling the truth, and they have no idea what I'm talking about. It's always going to be like this. Nick pulled the car into the driveway and turned off the lights. They weren't needed. The street light near the church lit up the front yard. As everyone headed into the house, Adam said, I forgot. I took square nails out of my pocket and left them in the car. We'll leave the front door unlocked, Nick said. Adam did not leave the nails in the car. He only said that to stay outside. Adam felt something. An entity like he saw earlier that day. A man surrounded by shadows walking down the road. Another lost soul. It seemed to be searching for something. Not again. Everything was quiet for a long time, and now 2 in one day? What are they doing? Searching for me? Adam walked to the road and quietly said, "Hello." The entity stopped and looked at him. It did not run. There was no emotion coming from it. It just stood there. This is going to be easy. Adam built the overlay containing the box of light around the entity. He reached out before sending waves of light to it. Nothing. I didn't think it would work. It didn't work early today on that one like it, so I'll pull it inside, like I did earlier. That works better. Adam quickly pulled the entity into himself. Images of this being torturing others overwhelmed his mind, enjoying the pain and suffering it caused. It wasn't lost. This man covered in darkness liked being this way. He wasn't strolling down the road. He was hunting people. You're not alone. You will never be alone, Adam thought, sending waves of love and hope to it. I'm not alone. Screams of animals and human filled Adam's mind. You're with me. Adam focused every positive thought he had on it. Nothing. He tried to feel the light around him. It was gone. He tried starting over with the small light point inside, letting it grow into a bubble. He couldn't do it. This thing was inside him, and he couldn't get it out. How am I going to get it out? You're not alone. You will never be alone again. It was using Adam's own words against him. It knows everything. Adam felt a sense of power, a power he could use to control people. He could make them do what he wanted, trick them, make them like doing unpleasant things. It felt good. Stop! No. Adam, come inside, Nick yelled from the front door. I'm coming. That night, Adam dreamed of torture and ripping people apart, then feeling the warmth of blood. Adam acted like everything was normal the following day, but it wasn't. This thing was inside him, enjoying the feeling of skin, enjoying leaving tacks on the bus seats as he walked down the aisle to the back. He could have fun on the bus. He could have even more fun at school. All right, I want you all to write a minimum 500-page essay on the topic of your choice, Mrs. Merle said in English class. It's due 2 days from now. You will also be required to read it out loud in class. This will help your public speaking skills. I already know my topic, Adam thought. The next couple of days, Adam spent time organizing his thoughts and just a little bit of time in the library. The subject matter was straightforward. It just needed to be refined. He knew how to type, so that part was easy. It was Adam's turn to read his essay. He stood up in front of the class and began. The title of my essay is Methods of Torture. What? Miss Myrtle asked. Methods of Torture is the title of my essay. I shortened it to 1,000 words. There was nothing she could do. She allowed them to pick the topic. And Adam had picked the topic, and she made the requirement to read it aloud in the class. The class was stunned as Adam read. After he finished, Miss Mercer spoke up. From now on, I will have a list of topics to choose from, and methods of torture will not be included on that list. Adam grinned. He had planted dark seeds and opened their minds to possibilities. Adam stepped off the bus in front of his house. I've got to do something. This has got to stop. You liked it. There's nothing you can do. Mom, I'm going to get some sun. I'm going to go lying out in the field next to the house. Okay. Adam put on a pair of shorts, grabbed a towel, and walked to the center in the field. He laid down the towel, took everything off except the shorts, and proceeded to get a tan. Adam couldn't get this thing out on his own. He needed help, so he was going to ask for it. All right, son, I could use your help. I can't build enough light within myself. Can you help me build more? He didn't get a reply. He just lied down, feeling the warmth of the sun. He started mentally building a little ball of light within, but it was stained somehow. I need to clear that stain and make it true light again. He felt the warmth of the sunlight go to the center of his being. He felt the truth of the sunlight burning away the stain of his own light. No, you're mine. It's afraid. I'm doing something right. Adam continued to feel the sunlight burning inside. He was becoming one with the sun. He felt as if he was in the center of the sun. It was beautiful and surrounded him. He felt the dark entity forced out. Adam sat up. The entity was there in front of him. It was unharmed, and it couldn't get back inside. His merging with the sun was too much for it. It quickly fled, and Adam lost sight of it. I think I just got lucky. I somehow managed to get it out. I have limits. There are things out there that I can't handle. I've got to be more careful. God, I'm always saying that. Then I'm not careful. He continued lying in the sun. He had become one with the sun. Adam smiled. Chapter 20. Moving again. Nick said as he continued moving boxes, "It's all working out. I'll be making more money, and we still have our old house to move into now that the renters have gone. A little cleaning, and it'll be like we never left West Monroe. It'll also be much easier on you, Adam, taking those summer classes at college. It's only a 20-minute drive from the house. You getting that grant was really lucky." "Yeah, really lucky. I'm looking forward to it." "Lucky? I needed to get out of this town, and somehow I got a grant for the college in our old town. Then Dad got a new job, and we can move back to our old house. It's like the 2 years in Allah were nothing, but I learned so much about myself in those 2 years. I think Allah's going to be with me forever." Adam continued packing boxes and then carrying them outside to be loaded into their rented moving truck. He thought about everything that happened in Allah. "I learned that I'm bisexual, and everyone sees that as wrong, like the preacher telling me that I'm the thing wrong with the world. Finally, I grasped that hearing people's thoughts is not normal, that I'm the different one, and I can't tell anyone about it. Then something happened when I was lying in bed, depressed, and let myself go out of body. I still don't know what that was. Can't remember, but it happened. I'm not the same person I was before that event. I have my memories and look the same except for my eyes. First they were brown, and now they're green with a bit of brown in the middle. How could something make your eyes change color? The entire world changed when that happened. No, I was the one that changed and saw the world differently. Everything became alive to me, and it sometimes responds when I talk to it. It can't be real, but every PE baseball game was rained out since we moved here. The lightning, the electricity, transformers blowing, all just a coincidence? Then seeing this other reality, this different plane of existence overlaying the one we all see with our eyes. The dark entities, how to fight them, how to protect me. The lost soul some call ghost, that silver sword showing them the way home. Oh, and of course, no one else experiences anything like this. If I told people, they'd take me away in a straitjacket and lock me up. I feel so fucking crazy. Feels like I'm lost and alone in the dark. I can't talk to anybody. They don't understand any of it. How am I supposed to do this? Do I pretend to be like everyone else for the rest of my life? Alone in a crowd? That's right. My favorite phrase I use when I feel overwhelmed and I don't know what to do. Take another step. Keep moving forward. I'm so glad that works. Taking a physical step forward. Stop having an entire conversation in your mind. Stop it. Adam walked back inside to continue packing. I wonder what college will be like. Dad wants me to stay at least 1 year on campus in a dorm for the experience. Then hopefully I can get a scholarship or a student loan. After that, I'll have to get a job. He wants me to go into a profession that makes lots and lots of money. He loves money. But I see things differently. Whatever I need happens, like that college grant. I don't know why, but it happens. Stop it. You're having conversations in your head again. That proves I'm crazy, right? Yeah, it does. Oh, great. Now I'm answering myself.